Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Health Forum. With me today is Dr. Young Soo Kim, and we're continuing our series. Dr. Kim, how are you today?
Okay, hello again.
Yes, today we're going to be talking a little bit about, I understand,
Yeah,
is that
vitamin
correct?
D.
Calcium and
Yeah,
vitamin D.
yeah. And then quite different from what ordinary people think. This is an politically explosive issue. So I should be really careful in what I say. So we are not a doctor. I'm not arguing anything. I don't claim any cure, diagnosis, prevent anything. Okay. Let me ask you one question first.
Yes.
I told you I've been involved with the Nobel Prize process in the past, and then uh, actually I am still in the process. Also, I will continue to be involved in Nobel Prize. Let me ask you, if somebody discovers something really important, and that person is likely to win Nobel Prize, right?
Hmm.
But if somebody discovers truly revolutionary things, no way that person does not get it. So it should be safely important. If it is truly important things, he won't get it. So let me just tell you.
So wait, time out. So what you're trying to say then is if it's too good for somebody, it's going to get hidden.
Yeah, hidden or even suppressed or something like this. Let me just give you the real life example.
Okay.
There was a guy in Hungary, obstetrician, and the gynecologist, famous guy. His name is Zemmelweis. Zemmelweis. He's the one. It may be very hard for you to believe. He's the one who discovers that before surgery, surgeons should wash hands. Surgeons should disinfect the hands. He's the Now it's a common sense, but at that time, no surgeons wash their hands before they go to surgery. And that at that time, surgeons were such a full of pride, and the all blood still, all his scrubs are full of blood stains from the previous surgeons, and then he just comes in and then with the bloody hands, and then goes to the next surgery, and people are respecting that person. Wow, he's so cool, he's so busy. Oh, he's such an expert. And then so there was such an foolish pride at the time. Also at the time, the surgeons were actually teaching at the medical school. They did a lot of autopsy to teach the medical students anatomy.
Yeah.
And at that time, the cadavers are actually illegally stolen from graveyard. The recently buried corpse are stolen from the graveyards, and then most of them were the autopsy, the anatomy lessons were using those things. And so those were not fresh cadaver, not fresh corpse. So, or it just started a disintegration, and you touched it, and they show this is some organ, this is some organ, and with all those dirty hands, they just come to the surgery. Of course, patients die. So
Yeah.
the in that in that period I'm talking about, this is Australia and Europe, and almost obstetrics those the death rate is almost 100%. But the people believe that, this was a difficult case, so no, the doctor did the doctor did their best. But non-professional midwives, if you go there, the survival rate is a lot higher. So this Semmelweis, this person just experimented this and that and found that, if you wash hands, especially if you not only wash hands, if you disinfect with antiseptics,
Yeah.
the death rate goes down to 99%.
Do you think would you think with the midwives it was due to the fact of them handling a lot of hot water and actually
Exactly. Yeah.
cleaning
The
themselves?
first thing they
Right.
do is to prepare a lot of hot water, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So So the death rate went down 99%. And then we'll think, then everybody lived happily after and he's respected. No way. What happened was, at that time, the medical establishment became so mad. So mad. Why? Because of this guy's discovery, they were found guilty of all those previous deaths. Right? So right now, we know who are responsible for this. Frankly speaking, Carl, I think these days something similar is happening a lot over and over. So let me continue. So even these days, I think something like that happens. So if there are some treatment, most of doctors are using as a common practice, if those treatments are found of some side effects later, the liability issue is terrible. Those are liability litigations or only few cases, but I think most synthetic pharmaceutical drugs are actually, they should not get any sleep at night, like the tobacco company some time ago. So, but anyhow, I think something similar happened so far as this vitamin D and calcium is concerned. And then
How so, Doctor?
yeah. Carl, be careful. The story is involving yourself privately, so please do not disclose what is not to be disclosed. Okay? About 20 years or 20 some years ago, at the time I began to experience all those common middle age ailments, such as high blood pressure, blood sugar, depression, all those things. So, at that time, my business was quite successful. I was considering retiring actually, and I went to Hawaii. It's about this time of the year. I went to Hawaii, and from the airport to the hotel, it took only 2 hours. And during those 2 hours, all my symptoms are gone completely, miraculously.
From Hawaii?
Yeah. Hawaii, yeah. So I was so shocked. Why I had such problems, and how come all of a sudden all those degenerative symptoms gone instantly, almost instantly, and miraculously. And then I ran into a guy who is a true believer and true disciple of the doctor the vitamin D doctor. Okay. And then that guy explained why, Dr. Kim, you were not really sick with all those diseases. You were having serious deficiency of vitamin D. And then because of the sun in Hawaii, you get the supplement of natural vitamin D. That's why you get all this improvement all of a sudden. So I learned from him a lot of things, how to make the true vitamin D, how to make all these calciums, those kind of things. And what I found was vitamin D is probably most well studied, and the vitamin D and calcium combination is probably the supplement or nutrition combination that has most benefits, such as it just increases, it strengthens our immune system. During the COVID, in the beginning of the COVID, actually companies like ours were warned by the government. Do not say that vitamin D is good for COVID. They warned with the documents. And then after 2 years, right now we all know that with good vitamin D, the death rate is only 1/20th of the other case. It just reduces the death rate of COVID, by 95%. So
that's amazing.
Yeah. And then, the weight loss and rheumatoid, and then type 2 diabetes, blood pressure, heart disease, of course, bone density, vitamin D, calcium,
Yes.
bone density, multiple sclerosis, asthma, Alzheimer. I know virtually I don't know of many diseases which are not helped by this vitamin D and calcium combination. But as soon as you mention it, you not only get criticism, you go to jail. You know that. You were there when this thing happened. They go to jail. They put you in jail. Now, you know what happened to the Dr. Semmelweis, who first discovered the benefit of washing hands, that Semmelweis? What happened to that guy? He is criticized by the establishment at the time.
Mm-hmm.
He was put into insanity asylum. He was beaten to death.
Because he believed in washing his hands.
He is his characteristic is very feisty. He does not bend. He just no, I'm right and I have proof. I have said so. The people ate more and more, and then so they say, they just put away into the insanity asylum, and eventually they killed him. And then something similar happened to here. Your friend is basically, I really respect that person. The reason is, he is the person who made the benefit of vitamin D and a calcium combination. He's the first person who made it publicly widely known. Before him, nobody knew. But after him, right now, it became a public, common sense. But he's the person. When he first argued, and everybody said that vitamin D and calcium is just nutrition. It cannot cure any diseases. It is not supposed to cure any disease. But he's the person. No. I have studies. So he was persecuted. And he's not the only one who was persecuted because of mentioning the benefit of this vitamin D and calcium. Let me give you a couple of examples. The guy, Dr. Rich is the called father of preventive medicine. He mentioned very lightly vitamin D helps cure cancer. He didn't argue much, but he just mentioned lightly. His license revoked. And the guy who said, Dr. Warburg, he won the Nobel Prize. He's a Nobel laureate. And then he also mentioned lightly, vitamin D could help fight with the cancer. Not only him, all his students' license was revoked. Can you believe that? As of now, let's just mention this briefly, and then let's go back to our main story. Now, there's no exception. Almost everybody lacks vitamin D, even those people in tropical area. The tropical area in the movie, those people were naked, but these days nobody is really naked in tropical area. So even most of them stay indoors, so they don't get enough sunlight. Yeah. Also these days, sunlight is treated as number one toxic substance. So everybody's avoid sunlight. Yes, sunlight has a danger of causing skin cancer. That's true. But the sunlight is an important source of vitamin D. And because we are avoiding sunlight, people are experiencing all kinds of diseases. My church has a regular prayer meeting for sick people. So many people come. I ran into many cancer patients. I always interview them. We just provide prayer support, all those kind of things. Mm-hmm. I have never met, mark my word, I have never met one cancer patient who is not seriously deficient in vitamin D. No exception. I've never met any cancer patients who is not deficient in vitamin D level. So I told them, please, they know we are producing vitamin D product. Oh, doctor, we'd like to buy your product. No, our product is for daily use. In your case, you need a lot stronger injection form of strong vitamin D. Our product is not strong enough. And then another number I want to give it to you is anybody who listened to my recommendation, went to see doctor and got those strong vitamin injections, nobody died. Nobody died yet. So they basically, I'm just telling you out of my experience. So
could you get it from various foods, Dr. Kim? Are there a lot of foods that have vitamin D, or is it primarily come from?
Yes. Let me just mention right now. Our eggs yolk have quite a bit of vitamin D. You have to take 20 eggs to just meet the daily requirement of FDA daily requirement to get that level of vitamin D. You have to eat 20 eggs a day.
That's a lot of eggs. That's a lot of eggs.
So the 2 liters of vitamin D fortified milk.
Wow.
A huge chunk of salmon. Impossible. Everybody likes vitamin D. So you need supplements. Also, let me just mention.
Well, let me ask you one more question along those lines, Dr. Kim.
Yeah.
How much exposure should one try to get?
7 hours a day.
Really? 7 hours a day?
Yeah.
That's almost unheard of. Nobody's going to get 7 hours a day.
So
summertime.
This statistics is from the study of those longevity tribes. In the world here and there are people, the tribes with a really long longevity, without exception, they get 7 hours of sun exposure to sun. Let's mention. I'm not going into that topic right now in detail, but when you go out in the sun that long, you have to worry about skin cancer. Actually, that's an issue.
Yes.
So we have sunblock, all natural sunblock. Why we insist on using all natural sunblock? The sunblock you see on the shelves of marketplace, they are all heavy highly toxic chemicals. Those sunblocks are basically, you know what? Those are finely ground metals. Like, so it hits back the sun ray like a mirror. So in the back of the mirror, those are heavy metals, right?
Yeah, I heard a lot of metal toxicity with those.
Yeah. And then they just put alcohol, perfume, and then you feel great. No. So we have a product called Pango, Pango, and then we'll do some promotion later, but that's another topic. So another thing, let's go back to those scholars. Right now, actually, because all these doctors are proving, right now it became a common sense. Even so right now, even the establishment and these pharmaceutical companies gave up suppressing this truth. As I told you last time, these guys, the greed of these guys and the iniquity of these guys is unbelievable. Like those fraud of vitamin C. Right now they accept, okay, vitamin D is good. Vitamin D and calcium is good. They accept up to that point, okay? But they are offering something else. So before, no, the vitamin D is not good. But right now, vitamin D is good. And then here's vitamin D. Please take this thing. But that's not the vitamin D which is good.
Are there different types of vitamin D
Yeah,
supplements that are
yeah,
out there,
there are
Dr. Kim? What are
many.
the main
There are
what are the main differences?
yeah.
What
Let
are
me tell
actually
you.
some of the main
Uh,
differences?
let me just name two main vitamin Ds, and then let me tell you the difference. And then what you should choose is this:
Okay.
vitamin D2 and vitamin D3. Vitamin D2 is basically uh, uh, is from the plant. Vitamin
Okay.
D2 plant. And then vitamin D3 is from the hair of the sheep. You give a strong ultraviolet ray, and then vitamin D is created there like tanning. So basically, you do the tanning using the sheep's hair.
The hair of the
Oh,
sheep.
yeah. That's amazing, right? Yeah, but the
I've
about the
heard that.
yeah, vitamin D2 is they just expose the certain type of mushroom to the ultraviolet, and they create the vitamin D inside the mushroom. But we are animal, right? Not the plant. So the what we really need is vitamin D3, not vitamin D2. But all the so the people think that no, I'm taking vitamin D fortified in milk, but actually that's not the vitamin D what we need, what we really need the most.
What is it, more similar to a synthetic vitamin D?
Yeah. So the vitamin D3 is like this. As I told you, when our skin is exposed to the sun, there is a danger of skin cancer, right?
Yes.
Same way, when this sheep hair is exposed to strong ultraviolet rays, some toxicity happens there, like the way our skin gets cancer. So
Okay.
we have to remove it. We have to remove from the vitamin D3 the complex. You have to remove those toxicity. Then it becomes the kind of vitamin D we need, and then clean of those toxic substance. That's the true vitamin D3 we need.
So what you're saying is there's a process that you can eliminate the toxicity.
Yeah, at the end of the manufacturing process. But that procedure, the last step, getting rid of the toxicity, costs a lot. That process. So people don't do that. They just
Yeah, they go for the cheap way out.
so the knowing this, I insist on getting the right vitamin D3. Very expensive. Yeah, and it's okay. If our product it became expensive, and if people don't buy, it's okay. But we are selling quite well. The another thing which I learned from that person, the true disciple of your doctor friend who was persecuted so much. That person told me how to get the true marine calcium, coral calcium. You know why we should get the coral calcium? Because
Yes.
if it is not coral calcium, basically you don't have to buy calcium. You just go to school and get the chalk, and then you just eat the chalk. That's better, actually. The same thing. Those land-based calcium is just same thing that chalk on the board. and, but the coral calcium has at first it is absorbed really quickly. Those land-based calcium takes 8 hours to be absorbed, but the coral calcium just 20 minutes, and then it goes out. When the body uses up all the needed amount of calcium, it just goes out. But the land-based thing does not. So land-based calcium causes gallstone, kidney stone, liver stone, all those things, urinary stones, urinary tract stones. So those things are actually not what our body needs. And then coral calcium. Let me tell you another. I think there are many smart people. Some Japanese guy, he knew about the benefit of true coral calcium, Okinawa coral calcium, right?
Yes. Yeah.
He bought all the coastlines.
Smart man.
Smart man.
Yes.
So,
Very smart man.
so I have to pay 40 times the price.
He beat you to the punch on that one.
Yeah. No complaint. That guy is smart.
Yeah.
He bought, and then he was a few steps ahead of me. So I have to respect. I have to show my respect to him who is smarter, paying him
Yeah.
40 times the calcium price that I can get somewhere else. It's okay. I'm happy. I'm happy to get true coral calcium.
Yeah. Well, they say the island of Okinawa has a tremendous amount of centurions because all of the food, the
Yeah,
air,
yeah,
everything is grown on there, and due to the fact that the island is actually a coral reef.
yeah. And then even the Okinawa, the ocean pollution becomes a serious problem. And then there is a certain area that guy did study. I like those guys.
Yeah, it's like playing chess. He's about 8 moves ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, yeah. And then so what I recommend is, please go out to the sun, go out to get yourself exposed, and using our all natural sunblock. Go out, and then so whenever my friends, people near me get cancer, I just tell them, get those medical or military grade of strong vitamin D injections on a regular basis. And
You're talking about vitamin D injections, actually.
and then you go out to sun, and then using our own natural sunblock. But let me warn you that even though you take our product, which is really observed really well, and then it takes at least 4 weeks to begin to experience benefits. So and then the bone density, and then frankly, I never encounter any disease vitamin D and calcium does not help. So as I say, again, even this COVID, in the beginning, people knew vitamin D must be helpful, and then the government say, no, you cannot say so. So every pharmaceutical company and then dietary supplement companies in North America like ours got warnings from the government. Don't ever say so. But now vitamin D helps COVID. That's common sense.
Yeah. How does your vitamin D differ, Dr. Kim, the one that you've manufactured and put together for people?
That we in Canada, where we are located, we have a couple of vitamin D manufacturers whom we can rely on. Yeah, and then
so that's to remove the toxicities from what you were saying.
Last moment, yeah. And then the medicine or this kind of you should know the person who makes it. You just cannot go out and buy pretty packaged bigger bottle. Basically, I'm quite cautious about that. So you should know whom you are buying those things from. But if we are shopping in common marketplace, check vitamin D3.
Vitamin D3 is what you need to look.
And then, if possible, search on the internet that the manufacturer is a reliable person, reliable company, and which clearly says that they removed that last portion of toxicity. So actually, if a manufacturer mentions vitamin D3, he actually knows something already. Most manufacturers don't even distinguish between vitamin D and 2. But if some manufacturer distinguish vitamin D3 and then even mentions the removal of that last part toxicity, and then if that manufacturer is a reliable, reputable company, you should try that one.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the coral calcium. If somebody says coral calcium, okay, coral calcium, and mentions the natural balance of calcium and magnesium. So in coral calcium, there's a natural balance which is perfect. Without that balance, calcium doesn't work. So if a manufacturer mentions that, very, very rare, very, very rare. I cannot think of any other manufacturers who actually does that. We are doing that, but that's us. Actually, we are selling.
So what you're saying then, when you're looking at the calcium, make sure that there is magnesium in it.
Yes, and please check whether the product mentions the optimal balance between magnesium and calcium.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the also, and in coral calcium, it just absorbs millions of years of those all natural ocean nutritions, and they digest and it accumulates there. So there are not only magnesium and calcium, but there's all kinds of vitamin B are there, and all kinds of flavonoids.
Kim, when people lack the calcium in their body, what are some of the telltale signs of lack of calcium?
Oh, calcium also works in almost all our body's all functions, cell generation, digestive, almost all function of our body involves a certain amount of calcium. So I cannot think of any functions of our body which is not dependent upon a certain amount of calcium.
Yeah.
So of course, the osteoporosis.
Yeah.
Those ladies who are suffering from osteoporosis, if they're taking all those marketplace, those choke like land calcium, they don't get help. They just get the gallstones and then the kidney stones only.
What creates the bone elasticity to make the bone much more pliable and less brittle as we get older? Like with osteoporosis, when the bone starts.
I think we should ask the reverse question: what causes bone to get brittle? Estrogen.
Estrogen, really?
Yes, we have that's another topic.
Yeah, we'll expound on that in another show. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So basically in today's show, I didn't make any claims, but if I just mentioned a certain fact, all the points I raised have at least a few hundred studies supporting it. So as I told you, there's in medical science, there are not many medical theories that have this many supports. We came up with this and then we got approval from Canadian government, and I think our product is phenomenal.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Kim,
Okay.
I want to thank you very much,
Yeah, I thank you.
for another edition of the Health Forum. And
Yeah.
we will be back for another edition, and we're going to continue this series.
Sure.
I'm very excited about where we're going with this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm learning so much, and I'm sure everybody else out there is learning along with me.
Okay.
Kim, thank you
Okay,
very
bye-bye.
much. Have a wonderful day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.